Good evening, believers. This is Love Coach Tasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, first and foremost, let me know if you're with me on Facebook. Can you hear me okay? Is it acting right? I feel like something strange happened on my StreamYard screen. And so now I've got like two of me up here instead of just one. Don't have any clue why, but I know that it's echoing back to me. So I'm having all sorts of fun with the technology today. All right, let's see. No, no, I don't know. See, got two of me. I don't know why. There we go. All right, hopefully it'll get right. Hopefully it'll sound okay. Hopefully we don't have any problems with that. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Sasha. I am here with you for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what I do here. I am a love coach for women who want to stay and reconcile after infidelity. It's as simple as that. You have been cheated on, you have been betrayed, you are having a hard time. However, this is still the person you love. This is still who you want to be with. This is still the person that you want to spend your time with. This is the person that you feel like is worth forgiving. And if that is your case, I am here to help you. I want you to get to a better place with the same person who cheated on you. I know it's crazy. I know people will give you a hard time about it and make you feel like it's the wrong thing to do. But if you are feeling like it's the right thing to do, I believe in you. I don't believe in once a cheater, always a cheater. I believe in your judgment about this situation. If your judgment of the situation says that you feel like you can be okay, you can work things out, you can get to the point where you forgive, I believe in you, not in all of the things that people will say about taking on this type of challenge. All right. So let's see. Let me make sure I can see. Hopefully, I can. Oh, did I fix it? I fixed it. Yay. Mulatto Beauty, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. Hey. Let me know what's going on with you today. Let me find out what is the question that's on your brain today about healing and reconciling. Good things that are happening with you today. I want to hear all about it. All right. All righty. Let's see. Let me make sure. I can see myself. I think I fixed it up right. Haha. Yay. All right. So I tell you things that you can do on your own, starting right this minute, that will start to help you get to a better place with your boo, getting over this trauma. All right. I want you to start looking at this like a trauma that you need to work through. A lot of the time, the advice, the things that other people tell you is that you should just wait for him to fix it all. You should just say, okay, well, you messed it up. So you've got to do all the things, and then when you do all the things, then that will make me feel better. But that's not the way that healing works. You've got to work on your own healing. You've got to change your own brain after this trauma has happened, because the trauma did change your brain. You've got to change it back. You've got to fix it and get it to a better place so that you are not stuck in that fearful, devastated, broken place anymore. You won't be there anymore. You will be in a happier place. All right. So we got to start doing the things that will work for this trauma. All right. The first thing that I want you to always start off doing, if you don't do anything else, do this. Do your deep breathing. All right. Have you done your deep breathing? If you have not done your deep breathing, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm trying to tell you, it is good stuff. All right. When you do your deep breathing, when you are consistent with that, what you're doing is bringing down your anxiety level. You are telling your brain that you are safe. Everything is fine. You do not need to freak out. You do not need any help right now. It's all right. All right. So when you do your deep breathing, you are demonstrating that to your brain. Instead of just telling it, you are showing it. When you are freaked out, when you are first devastated in this pain, your brain does the fight or flight response. It sends out adrenaline into your system, and your breathing changes automatically. You go into that faster, more shallow breathing. Now, if you control that breathing, you're sending your brain the opposite message. You're telling your brain, no, 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 no. I'm actually fine. I do not need all your help right now. I do not need you to freak me out right now. I'm okay. I'm able to take care of this. And when you do that consistently, your brain will start to believe you. All right. So we got to do our deep breathing. What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. And it does not matter what kind of breathing you do. If you do 5-5-5, if you do 8-8-8, it doesn't matter. Does not matter to me at all as long as you are doing it consistently. I want you to do this 5 times a day. All right. That's what I need you to do. First and foremost, if you don't know where to start on this healing journey, if you are still in the devastation phase and you are just a pile on the floor, you don't know how to even get to the place where you're standing on your own 2 feet to begin to heal, you need to start with your deep breathing. All right. So, what we do is we blow out. We're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out for a count of 8. All right. When we're blowing out, make sure that you do blow, purse lips, blowing all of that excess carbon dioxide out of your lungs. Try and deflate all the way around, all the way down, and then inhale a little bit of extra oxygen. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that together. We're going to do 3 times just for the sake of time. First things first, you're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful, lovely, wonderful. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Let me know how it feels when you do it with me. Let me know how it feels to you to be able to get that good, fresh oxygen into your lungs and to exhale all that excess carbon dioxide, making you feel so much better. All right. Let me know how you feel. I see on Facebook, it's still not showing. Facebook disconnected all the streaming softwares from the groups. So I made a group event, but it's not linking up to it, even though it says it's linking up to it right now. But that's all right. Hey, look, once they figure this bug out, it'll be fine. But in the meantime, I'm still on YouTube. I'm still on Instagram. If you can't catch me on Facebook, go ahead over to Instagram or to YouTube and catch this live video. All right, so let's see. Second thing that we're always going to talk about, that I'm always going to tell you every single time we get together, that is going to help you with the trauma, is to do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? I need you to do your journaling, okay? Does not matter. I got all my journals out of storage. Does not matter what you use. This is just a plain old line journal. Let's see what else I got down here. Oh, this one's got a zipper on it. If you want to feel a little bit more secure, it does not matter. Whatever journal you use, just consistently use it. I need you to be using it twice a day. I need you to sit down first thing in the morning when you wake up, when you're getting yourself together for the day, write for about 5 minutes. Do your date, do your time, do your level of anxiety. Level of anxiety 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are feeling great. All is right with the world. A 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10 anxiety. All right. You are not sitting down writing in your journal at a 10. All right. So don't even write that. All right. Chances are, if you are at a 10, you are throwing something, not writing things down. All right. So first, when you first start off with your journaling, and then after you've written for about 5 minutes, come back and do your level of anxiety again. Find out if maybe, just maybe, that anxiety has come down. All right. Most of the time, that's what it is. It comes down. It really does. If you just go ahead and work towards it. All right. So, first things first, up there at the top, date, time, level of anxiety at the bottom. And then at night, before you go to bed, let go of some stuff. Put some stuff down in the journal that you can work on tomorrow. Tell your brain, hey, if this is a problem that I'm going to have to solve tomorrow, you be working on it while I'm asleep, and then we'll wake up and tackle it in the morning. A lot of the time, your brain will agree with that. Your brain will do what you tell it to. Work through the problem while you're asleep. And then in the morning, it'll be like, hey, I came up with an answer. And then you're able to go ahead and go through with the answer. But it's important to start this journaling process. It is extra good for you to be able to journal and put your thoughts down. When you do this consistently, you are getting those intrusive, angry, frustrated, hurt thoughts out of you and down onto the paper. Your brain will say, oh, this is written down. She is remembering this, so we don't have to remember this. And it's so much easier on your brain when you let your brain have a little break by taking your journaling seriously. Okay. So I want you to be doing that consistently. I need you to be on your journaling. All right. Next thing that we're always going to do, and I can't see who is joining me either on Facebook or on YouTube. Make a comment. Let me know who you are. I can't see at the moment, but I know somebody's there. All right. And give me likes, give me love. Make sure you're doing that stuff so the algorithm knows you like me. All right. So, next thing that I'm always going to tell you to do that is going to help you with your trauma is to practice an attitude of gratitude. Okay. Cultivate gratefulness every day. Look for things to be grateful for. Okay. Every single solitary day, even when things are going wrong. What can you find in the situation that is a good thing? You need to be focused on this because it will switch the way that your brain is working. Right now, you're traumatized. Your brain is looking for the terror, it's looking for the horror story right now. If you switch that around to gratefulness, things that you can be grateful for, you give your brain that assignment, it will take you seriously and start to look for those things to be grateful for. And then it's not looking actively for things to be afraid of at the same time. All right. So we need to be retraining our brains, getting control over it, getting into the habit of regulating our emotions by doing these things that I'm talking to you about. All right. But gratefulness is really great when you are in a sad place and you want to get to happy, but you just feel like you can't because something so bad has happened to you. If you look for the things to be grateful for, it is easier to get from misery to happiness if you get that gratitude step in between. All right. So I want you to be focused on that. I want you to be paying attention to that. I want you to be working on it. Okay. Every single solitary day, I need you to be thinking about the things that are going well in your life, not just the cheating, not just that this has gone so bad. So, speaking of, I do Thirsty Thursday in the group, and that is what it's celebrating. It is celebrating all of the times where you are getting to pay attention to the good things that are going on in your life. All right. And well, Lord, I can't find that either. Huh? All right, be like that. I don't know where to go. There it is. All right. So Thirsty Thursday, I saw a couple people. I love to hear good news. So if you've got good news and you're with me right now, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know what you got going on that's good in your life right now. I will shout you out. I will talk about your good thing. All right. But first and foremost, Lori says, I took my first solo trip since discovery for self-development for my side hustle this past weekend. And it was powerful, inspiring, and uplifting. I felt really empowered and free from triggers. That's a big thing right there. It's been so good being on the other side of healing. Lori has worked with me before. She worked with me. She worked through those emotions. She did that work and got to that better place. And now she's able to leave him alone and feel trusting, not be all triggered, not be wondering where he is and calling him every 5 minutes. And if he doesn't pick up, we got a problem. That is a beautiful thing, Lori. I'm so excited that you got to take this trip and see it firsthand that you're healed. You're healing right on up. All right. You may not be completely healed, but you are healing and you're healing rapidly, and you can be separated from him. You can have miles in between you and still be able to trust and still be able to not be triggered. That's that growth right there. That is real healing right there. That's where I want everybody to get to. I want you to get to the place where the triggers aren't bothering you every day. All right. And that's what Lori has done. Ask her about it. All right. Let me let you know. Lori has put in that work and it is successful when she put that work in. He has changed around. Her husband has changed around. She's changed how she is towards him. It's a stronger relationship and it's a stronger trust now. All right. Love that. Love hearing that. Lou said, my husband and I are starting a side business. And after so much prep, we are finally starting to see movement. And it's so exciting to think that this will hopefully bring us together and also eventually spend more time at home. I know that's right, Lou. That's the beautiful part. If you can get together and get your side business up, it could be your real business. It could be your first business. You two could spend more time together doing something you enjoy doing together. And we couldn't have got to this place like about Lou's work with me too. Maybe about a year ago, Lou, you correct me if I'm wrong, but a year ago we couldn't have gotten here. A year ago would have been a whole different thing trying to keep your emotions in check to be able to start this business. And she is in a place now where they are able to start this business together. They're feeling good together, making that money. All right. I love it. I love it. Oh, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. Joni, I see you over there on Instagram, girl. I don't know what the heck is going on with Facebook. I tried to do it exactly the way it told me to do it. Still not connecting. So we're here. Right. And I'm glad that you're here with me. Hello. Joni, if you got anything for Thursday, got anything good, positive going on, let me know. Let me know what is happening in your life. All right. So I'll tell you what's one good thing happening in my life right now. I am starting the registration for the Trust Issues Challenge. Have you been having difficulty getting your trust back after this infidelity? Do you feel like it's just completely gone? It's disintegrated. You don't know how you could ever actually get to trust that person again? I am here to tell you that we are working on that. All right. Come May 13th, 2024, it's going to be 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be working on our trust. All right. It's going to be an entire week. I have been doing this since, I think, 2017, maybe 2019. I'm not totally sure. I've been doing this like once a year, 4 years, and the Trust Issues Challenge is always really popular. If you're having those trust issues, you've got to work through them. You will not be given trust, okay? It does not work like that. But I got good news. You can work on your trust like a muscle, build that trust muscle up, and get to the place where you feel really good and really confident in trusting your mate again. That's what we are working on. May 13th, that's when the challenge starts. Make sure you sign up. And then right after you sign up, the next page after that will take you to the Facebook group that I am having the actual challenge in. I'm going to do it separately. It's going to be a whole nother group just for the challenges that I'm doing with my Facebook group with everybody. All right. So I want you to be excited about this. Come on, join me for the healing hour. Join me for the Trust Issues Challenge. All right. All right, let's see. Joni, you said I started therapy and she told me that this is all in my power and I need to feel more empowered. Joni, I've been telling you that for weeks, girl. I've been trying to let you know that is what it is. If you keep on trying to put everything on him, your healing has to come from what he's doing. You are completely giving away all your power. You have just decided that you're not strong enough and he has to be the one to fix you. And I think that that's a crazy way to start off. We cannot start off believing that somebody else is going to fix us. If we want things to be different, we have to work on them being different. Nobody is going to hand you change. Nobody's going to hand you trust. So you got to be empowered to start working on it, start to change the way that you're thinking about this a little bit and get to a better place a lot faster. A lot faster, Joni. I'm trying to tell you, if you just go ahead and believe that you are the person that is going to fix you, everything gets so much simpler. Everything gets so much simpler. But I'm glad that you started the therapy. I'm glad that you're in there talking with this person and getting this stuff off your chest and deciding to move forward is a beautiful thing. I'm glad to hear that, girl. All right, one last thing that I'm always going to tell you every single solitary time we get together, besides doing your deep breathing, doing your journaling, getting grateful. All right. Last thing is stop asking all those damn questions. I know. I spent like the all week talking about this in the group, but really, you got to stop asking all those questions. It is not good for you. If it was good for you, I'd say go ahead and do it. All right. I am totally for anything that is really healing, empowering, makes you feel good. But the thing about the questions is that's a trauma response. It is not healing, it is not actively doing anything to heal. It is actually your brain trying to come up with reasons not to heal. All right. When your brain is like, well, I have to know every single solitary detail or else I can't move on. That is the trick right there. I can't move on. That is what your brain is doing. Your brain is holding you up from following through with your healing by getting you caught all up in these questions. You feel like if I don't get the answer to all these questions, I'm not going to be able to be at peace. I'm not going to be able to be empowered to help myself. And that is just not true. It is only a trauma reaction. You don't have to believe it. All right. It is based in fear. And when you stop believing it, when you stop believing that you do not have this power, all right, when you stop believing that and you start carrying forward with doing the actions of healing anyway, a lot of the questions go away, number one. And as you heal, a lot of the questions get answered anyway. That whole full disclosure thing, I get where it comes from. It's I need to feel safe moving forward with you. And that is what the idea is. But the problem with that is you do not feel safe anyway. This is somebody who has very recently betrayed you, and they can tell you every single solitary detail in the world, and that will give you more reason not to trust them. Okay? It will give you reasons not to move forward if you get all those questions answered right now. And you're at a place with somebody that this probably wasn't as important to them as it was to you. You feel like, oh, this had to be a big, fat, hairy deal. This had to be serious for him to go and cheat on me like this. He had to feel something really strongly. It had to be that way. And so, if you feel like it had to be that important, you believe that he remembers everything about it. The problem with that is that when we are doing the wrong things, we're traumatizing ourselves, okay? And when you're in trauma, you do not remember very well. So he is doing the wrong thing, doing these actions that are feeling based, hormone based, not thought based. And so he's not actually remembering everything the way that you believe that he's remembering everything. You think that everything is super important to him and he is remembering and relishing every detail of this, unless he is actively like journaling every day. There are things about this whole situation that you're going to want to know that he's not going to have the answers to anyway. All right. There's lots of reasons why not to ask the questions, but mostly if you are not in the place emotionally, if your big emotions are overwhelming you, the answers to the questions cannot help you. They cannot help you at all. They're going to make you more traumatized because that's what your brain is looking for, number one. And you're not in a place to be able to accept the answers that you get. You don't trust him. You don't believe in him anyway. So there's no need to ask him a whole bunch of questions now, is there? All right. Okay, kitty cat, I see you over there, girl. Hey, glad you're here with me. So instead of asking all the questions, instead of doing that, I need you to hold tight on that. All right. Grab hold of yourself. Tell your brain, no, that is not helpful. Every answer that I get is just more pain, more suffering. I can know all the truth because there's always your side and his side, and then there's the truth. So you can always, I can know the truth, but it's just causing me more pain, more suffering. It is making it hard for me to move forward. So, brain, I am not going to ask these questions anymore. I am not going to do it. And then that starts to change the way that your brain is functioning because your brain is doing this on autopilot. And if you insist that you are not just going to let it run on autopilot, you're going to take back over control. It has to change what it's doing. And then you do not get caught in that terrible, just continuous rut of pain and suffering and questioning and getting the answers and having that suck. All right. It is too much to do when you are devastated, when you are not healed. You need to be in a better place before you can heal. And I was telling, I don't want to call the wrong name. I was telling somebody in the group this week that, even to this point, my husband is still taking accountability. He consistently tells me, he's like, man, I wish I hadn't cheated on you. You're like the best person for me. I cannot believe that I did that to you. It's like, I would really take it back if I could. He tells me that type of stuff all the time. Complete responsibility and accountability for what he did. All right, not trying to blame it on me. And at this point, we can talk about it. We can talk about it freely, and it's not painful for me. It's not painful for him. We're not arguing at each other's throats. We can look back on it and reflect on it without it being an argument because we're healed. All right, you will do better if you just go ahead and heal a little bit first before you start getting all into the questions. Does that make sense to you? I want to impress upon you that this is important, okay? I need you to stop asking these damn questions. They are messing you up. They are messing with you. Um, Another woman in the group said that, she's been asking these questions of her mate, and her mate gets mad every single time that they ask the question. And then, she's like, well, why are you getting mad at me for me asking these questions? Because it is showing this is totally on my mind. I am not ready to forgive you yet. All I want to know is more and more information about this. I am not actually working on healing. And I think they're at like 2 years out. Nobody wants to continue to answer these questions for years. Okay. Just realistically, I understand that everybody says, well, they shouldn't have done wrong if they didn't want to answer all the questions. I get the idea behind that they should be responsible for what they have done. I get that. But it's not good for you to have all these questions out there, to be constantly bombarding them with questions. It never lets you move forward. You are always dragging yourself and dragging the relationship back into the past, and nobody wants to do that. You don't want to do that. You do not want to have done something wrong, and then every 5 minutes your mate gets to come and drag you back into this horrible thing that you've done. You don't want to live like that. You don't want a relationship like that. So don't make your relationship be like that. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because I want you to take that seriously from me. So if you are just in the place that you have got to ask a question, all right, I'm going to give you an assignment for that. Get this, the and, all right, comes from the Skin Deep, all right, the people at the Skin Deep. But the and, put that into Amazon. It costs about $30. It's 199 questions, okay? It is questions. This one is the healing edition. It is all questions about connecting and loving this person and understanding this person instead of questions about their affair. If you keep asking the questions about the affair, you'll never get past it. If you are itching to ask a question, and your brain will do that because this is an autopilot thing, your brain is itching. It's like, I have to know answers. Give it better questions. All right. So this question says, when do you doubt me most and why? Interesting, right? He could tell you, I doubt you the most when you are constantly asking me all those questions about what has happened, constantly interrogating me. I feel like you are not in a place where you want to forgive me. We are never going to get past it. And I doubt that our relationship will go on. If he told you that, how are you going to feel about that? What are you going to do about that? You want to ask all these questions, okay? Be prepared to do something about the answers that you get, all right? When do you doubt me the most and why? All right, let me grab another one here. Another question says, what about our connection do you rarely admit to yourself? That's an interesting question, huh? I'm gonna ask that one more time. What about our connection do you rarely admit to yourself? That's an interesting question. I don't even know what my answer would be to that. For my connection with my husband, I rarely admit to myself. I don't know. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to think on that one. That's a thinker. So, all right, gives your brain something to do other than thinking about what you were thinking about. All right, talking about the affair, that's not going to help you at all. But giving yourself something better to think about, a better question to mull around in your brain, so your brain has something to latch on to and play with. It's a good thing. All right. Oh, that one is, this is filling your own question. Look at that. All right. And you can do this on the card, but don't make it about the affair. All right. You can fill in your own question, but don't make it about, oh, did you love her? You don't want to know the answers to those questions. Because of course he felt, most of them feel like they're in love because it's hormones. Hormones create the feeling of what we think of as love. And so, yeah, if your hormones are going with this person, you think that you love this person, and it's really just your hormones. All right. That's all it is. So trying to ask those questions. And one more. If you could change one thing about me, what would it be and why? And that much better questions than the questions that you've been coming up with. All right. So I need you to, if you're going to ask questions, I need them to be constructive instead of destructive. Asking anything about this affair right now is going to be destructive. Every question that you come up with is some way for your brain to tell you that they're not trustworthy. You should be afraid. You should back off. You should keep the wall up. That is what your brain is doing. So if you keep on listening to what your brain is saying, you're going to have problems. All right. You're going to have to switch this around. Stop with the questioning about what has happened and start to work on the actual relationship itself. All right. Does that make sense? Let me know. Let me know. All right. So I have questions in here. That's all the regular stuff that I always talk to you about. Um, And like I said, I want you all to join me for the Trust Issues Challenge starting on the 13th. Okay? I need you to do this for me because you're going to want to join in. If you're having trouble with your trust, this is the challenge for you. Okay? This is the one right here. If you are having difficulty and you're like, how am I even supposed to do this? I will go through the how. I will go through things every single solitary day that you can do that day to start trusting again. It is an action. If you trust, it is an action. You do not just receive trust, it does not just come to you. All right. You've got to be doing the things that make you feel trusting in order for that feeling to come back. All right. Let's see. I'll put the link up here for it. Copy the link. And that is, oh, I gotta put it on my profile on Instagram. I will do that as soon as we come off. Let me. All right. Put it on the screen. All right. So I want you to be signing up. Oh, what? You don't want to? Oh, we don't want to do that? Okay. Of course, when I'm trying to just go ahead and put it on the screen. Oh, there we go. Anyway, so after you sign up for that, come on back and talk to me. If you got questions for me, I am happy to answer them. I want to know what is going on with you. I want to know what you need help with. I am here to help you, okay? I got the answers. I've been doing this for years now. I have the answers for you, all right? I know what you need to know to be able to get past this, to get to a better place, to get healed up, to get reconciled with your boo. I know the answer. So if you have questions, please make sure you ask me, okay? Let's see. Got questions up here. Let me see. I think I saw some. Okay. Well, let me go. Oh, there it is. All right. There it is. Got comments up here. We got questions. Let's see. Becca. Hi, Becca. Glad you're here with us. Becca said, maybe how to move forward when your spouse is a repeat offender. And then two, a one night stand and an EA with a friend. Ooh, boy, Becca, you asked some questions today. All right. So, how to move on when they're a repeat offender? Chances are there is something going on with them. All right. That's the first thing that you need to know. People don't make these kind of decisions. People don't hurt the people that they love repeatedly feeling good about themselves. It's just not like that. My husband, he had bipolar disorder. He had some severe depression going on. He had other things happening other than just our relationship. And for a long time, that's what I got stuck on because I was like, it's got to be us. It's got to be between me and him. And come to find out, I did not realize until after he had cheated a few times that he had bipolar disorder. He did not know that until he had done it a few times. People are hypersexual when they have bipolar disorder, and so he was having sex in inappropriate places with inappropriate people, and he would be manic and feeling it, or be depressed and trying to make himself feel better, and he did not realize that that's what he was doing. So chances are, if he's a repeat offender and he keeps doing this, there is something wrong. All right. And the whys are threefold: sick, sad, stupid. Okay. You can understand where he's coming from one of these things, probably. All right. Sick is any kind of illness like bipolar disorder, like depression, like addiction, like heart problems. All sorts of illness cause bad behavior. I used to work in a hospital. People with heart conditions totally always came in with mistresses. Okay. It was just, for some reason, the heart not functioning the way that it was supposed to affected their behavior. I guess it's maybe the heart enzymes or whatever it is get into their blood, they run off and start having an affair. That's how so many men end up dying on top of another woman, is because when their hearts are doing that, they go out and they're seeking things that are like life affirming, and sex is always life affirming. And so it ends up being like that all the time. It happens so many times. You know how many times I walk into a room and it is the mistress and the wife, or like we're trying to get the mistress out and the wife is coming in. Honey, it happens all the time. So when we are ill, we are not at our best. We do not do our best. And if they are dealing with an illness, especially an illness that they're not really fully aware of, they're going to do the wrong things. So we need to maybe get them checked out, get them to a doctor, get them to a psychiatrist, give them the help that they need. All right. And start working on that, because that's what I started working on with him. I started paying attention to the fact that when he started messaging a whole bunch of women on Facebook, he was already manic. He was already fully feeling it, already in that state. So I had missed signs up until that point that let me know that this was coming. All right. So if they're ill, there are going to be cycles of illness, and you will be able to tell what the cycle is. So, Becca, if this is something that he's done over and over again, and you keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again, chances are there's some illness there. All right. Um, Sick, then they're sad. Sad is you could be depressed, or you could be grieving in some way, some kind of loss. When they get a little older, their testosterone starts to go down, like 35 and up, their testosterone starts to go down. They feel that as a loss. All right. They feel like they're less of a man than they used to be. If the relationship has been with the two of you, and he feels like he is separated from you, and you all have been sleeping together, and he has not been with you, that is a loss for him. You don't think that it's that big a deal because he's not responding. He's not saying that it's such a loss, but he's feeling that loss. And if he's grieving you, then yeah, he's gonna want to go out and make himself feel better. Um, and real grief too. If he's lost a family member, if you are in a relationship with somebody, you're going to go through the entirety of them losing their parents. You know what I mean? You're going to go through them losing family members. There is grief that is going to be dotted through your entire life together. And when you're grieving, you're not at your best. You don't do your best work. You do not think through to the other side of the pain. You just want to do something that makes the pain feel better. All right. And then the last thing, stupid. Stupid, I try and have the most compassion for. Stupid is all the things that men, especially, are told about being men and being in relationships when they're young. All right. It is stupid. It's all stupid. All right. The things that they see growing up, if they saw mom cheat on dad or dad cheat on mom, they got to feel like, oh, well, that's normal for a relationship. If their male role models were constantly cheating, had multiple women, they think, oh, well, if I want to be a man like my uncle, then I'm going to have multiple women like my uncle. All right. That's the kind of stupid that I'm talking about. It's not them being stupid, it is the stupid things that we are all taught in relationships and growing up. All right. And that's trauma too. I think it is. Hey, Wanda, glad you're here, girl. Talking about getting past this infidelity, girl. But yeah, those three things, sick, sad, stupid. Those are the three reasons, and usually everything that is going on inside their brains that made them cheat, especially made them cheat repeatedly, has to do with one or more of those three things: sick, sad, stupid. Usually that's what it is. All right. So we've got to work on having a little compassion for that. We've got to understand that, yes, they have done the wrong thing. Yes, they have, but they were not in a place where they were doing their best work. And when you try and have that compassion for that, try and start letting it go, start to go ahead and trust anyway. Even if they've done it repeatedly, you've seen the pattern over and over again. So you'll know when the pattern is happening again, but let it go and let yourself show trust in them. Most men are going to try very hard to be good men. I know that there are plenty of them out there who make a lie of that. I know there are plenty of them out there. However, if you made this choice in this man, all right, I believe that you have made a good choice. You have seen this man as a man who wants to be a good man. I don't think that you would purposely choose a bad dude. I don't think that you're doing that. I think that you have chosen somebody that you think is a good man, that you expect to be a good man. So if you show them that that's what you expect of them, a lot of the time they will follow through and try and be that. All right. They want to be a good memory. They want to be a good stand up man. They want to be a man that women can depend on, that men want to talk to. They want to be that. And if you treat them like you expect them to be that way, a lot of the time they will. All right. So there's a lot of things with it being a repeat offender. If you can find some compassion in your heart for obviously they are hurting. Obviously, something is going wrong inside of them that makes them feel like doing something that they know is wrong, which is cheating. They doing that and knowing that it's wrong and still going ahead and doing it. There is something wrong there. There's something going on inside of them that is making them feel like that is the appropriate response, even though we know that it's not. All right. The second part of your question, man. Woo! Two one night stands and an emotional affair with a friend. All right. So two one night stands, yeah, a lot of that is hormones, a lot of that is feeling like a lot of that one night stand feeling is hormones. A lot of that is, and especially if he is over 35 and his testosterone has started to go down, and a one night stand is like a jolt to that testosterone, and so he saw the opportunity that testosterone started flooding his brain, and the problem with that is testosterone makes them kind of stupid. That increased testosterone in your brain, you can look it up. They've done medical studies. It makes them a little dumber. All right. So when they've got that test, that's why they're so much dumber when they're young. When they're young and they're like in their 20s and all that testosterone is flowing, they're really stupid. And then they get wiser as they get older. It's because they have less testosterone bathing their brains. All right. So they get a little smarter as the testosterone goes down. But if they meet this new woman and she's willing, that testosterone just floods their brain, gets them dumb, and makes them feel manly. And then they're like, oh, I must follow through and have sex with this woman because I feel so manly. All right. It's weird. It really is. But most of them don't realize that it's just hormones. They don't have any idea that that's what it is. They just feel so strongly and they just go ahead and do it. The emotional affair with a friend. I tell you, man, I'm glad we didn't have to go through that. And like my husband's best friend is a woman, but they are actually just friends. Like there is never been anything inappropriate. It's never been like that. So an emotional affair with a friend, that's hard. That's hard. If it's his friend, yeah, that he can end up cutting that person off. If it was somebody that was your friend, that's always a little bit more drastic because you've been betrayed on both sides. All right. Always cut that friend off. If you're still willing to be with him, okay, cool. But I wouldn't I it's funny. I wouldn't trust a friend or a sister or a cousin or whatever who went ahead and slept with my man. Like I could regain trust in him. But if we're already family or we're friends and you go behind my back and do something like this to me, that was our relationship. Like that was our thing, and you went ahead and ruined it. So I come down harder on the people that would love me. If you already loved me and you were already my friend, and you go out and sleep with my husband, then I'm not fucking with you anymore, right? So maybe that's what it is. But an emotional affair gets all caught up. You get all excited about, oh, it's secretive and oh well the stories, stories and movies and everything start off like that with secret love affairs, and it seems so exciting and clandestine, and it takes your mind off whatever is hurting you. Whatever is hurting, whatever is wrong. Like I said before, there's something wrong that makes you feel like that's a good idea. So whatever is wrong, it soothes that in the moment. Got those hormones flowing, got you feeling all good, and got your body participating in this, and your brain is kind of left behind. So if you are dealing with this repeat offender thing, I get it. I went through it too. Um, Try and find the compassion. That is the main thing. If you can try and find some compassion, figure out what the heck is wrong with him that this seemed like a good idea. You can start to tackle that together and, listen to him, try and hear him out because he needs a little therapy. He does. If he can talk to you a little bit and find comfort in the talking, he may be more prone to go ahead and go to therapy. Does that make sense? That was a lot, but I hope that makes sense to you. Jody said, you're one of a kind woman. No repeat offenders here. He knows once was too many for me. Jody, mine cheated for 4 years. So hey, She's strong, Becca's strong, I'm strong. Anybody that's gone through this numerous times is a strong woman, but anybody who's gone through it one time is a strong woman. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even make me one of a kind, doesn't make her one of a kind. There are women out here, hundreds of women out here every single day who are doing exactly the same thing. We're not alone. If you have this person and you know that this is the person for you, but they're kind of an idiot sometimes, or they got this trauma, or they got the pain and the issues that I was just talking about, you try and understand them. You try to have that compassion for them, give them some love, and try and renew the love for yourself. But I mean, it's perfectly fine not to be okay with it happening multiple times, but it's also perfectly fine for you to be okay with it happening multiple times and being able to get past it. As long as they do better. Like mine, he cheated for 4 years in the very beginning of our relationship, but after that he was not doing that anymore. All right. So we've been together for 22 years at this point. So that first 4 years, okay, yeah, but all of the rest, he's been doing the right things. So, you just got to kind of weigh it out for yourself if it's worth it for you. My husband, he was just worth it for me. He just was. I knew the day that I met him that he was the one. I knew it was that special love story. A month and a day before I met my husband, I went to my cousin's wedding. And I was so jealous. I was ate up with jealousy, girl. I was so jealous. He was cute. My cousin was getting married and she was looking all happy. And I was like, damn it. I was like, I have nobody. I didn't have a date for the wedding or anything. I was just feeling just terrible about it. And when she went to go throw the bouquet, I was old enough now. This is the first wedding I had been to since I was old enough to actually be part of the bouquet toss. And my mother was like, go, you want to catch the bouquet? And I was like, I'm not going to catch the bouquet. All right, fine. Since my mother told me to do it, I was like, okay, fine, I'll go do it. I'm 6 feet tall. All right. So I did not jump to the front of this group. Okay. I got to the back and to the right of this group and I stood in the back and I was like, okay, if it comes over here, all right, fine. But I know what it's like when people are running for that doggone bouquet. And I wanted to stay out of the mix. My cousin launched that bouquet up and directly into my hand. I'm trying to tell you, nobody else had a chance. It went over everybody, came directly down to me. All I had to do was put my hand up like this. It smacked my hand, and it was mine. There was none of the fighting, the tussling over the flowers, none of that to be found. It directly smacked me in my hand, and I was just breathtaking. I was just like, that's the first time that's ever happened to me. That's a weird thing. And, everybody was like, oh, you're going to be next, all excited for me. And a month and a day later, I met him on the phone. Just random chance, started talking to him on the phone and fell for him in like this 3-hour conversation that we had. He's just the one. All right. He is the person that my magical love story is about. I caught that bouquet and it let me know. It was like, it's going down. Your mate, your boo, your husband, he's coming. Look out for him now. And it was 1 month and 1 day later that he arrived. And I knew it from the moment that I heard his voice. It was like the entire world just shifted around me a little bit. It was like stepping into another dimension. That's what it felt like to me. And we talked for hours and it was just all perfect. It was all lined up. My love story started off so cool and so beautiful. And that's how it let me know that he was the one. And I never felt like I felt about anybody else like I did with him. Never. It was never like that. So if you got that person that you got the magical love story with, go ahead and finish the story. All right. The story ain't over. Just because he did the wrong thing doesn't mean that your story is complete. It doesn't mean that your story was never the real fairy tale. You can still get to happily ever after. That actually does happen. You just got to carry through with the part in the middle where we're having conflict or we're having problems. All right. Every fairy tale, there's an issue where they can't be together. Things are going badly in the middle, and then they get together at the end. So this is what we are going through right now. We're going through the part of the story where it kind of sucks right now, but we can get to a good place again. That is not a hard thing to do. It's difficult, but it's not actually a hard thing. The things that you can do, doing your deep breathing, doing your journaling, being grateful, not asking all those questions about the affair. You can do those things and start to get to a better place. It's not difficult if you just go ahead and do it. All right. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else that you want me to address today? Don't see any other questions on the post. Make sure that you sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge. It's in the Facebook group, all over there. You can click on the banner above. You can go down to the post. Doesn't matter. Make sure that you go to sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge. We are rocking and rolling already. I already got people are signing up since yesterday. So I want you to join me for this because on the 13th, that's what we're doing. We are working on their trust. You're going to get to a better place. You are going to be more trusting in your relationship if you work with me on the Trust Issues Challenge. All right. Jody, you said, my therapist said I need to find something that brings me peace every day. And God knows I have no idea. Well, see, that's the thing. That's where the gratitude comes in. Have you been practicing that? That is how you do it. You'll find something that brings you that peace if you are constantly looking for the things that make you feel gratitude. All right. Look around every day. Be searching for it in the littlest of things, in the biggest of things. Be looking for it. And then your brain will know that that's what you're looking for. Good things that you can feel positive about. And then it will offer up things for you to feel peaceful about. All right. You got to train your brain to do what you're asking it to do. Right now, it is stuck in, I am terrified. I want to know all the answers about this bad thing he did. I don't want to hear the good things. If you change it around to looking for those things that are good and positive in your life, it changes what your brain is looking for. And then it will start to offer you up things that make you feel good and make you feel peaceful and happy instead of things that make you feel miserable. She said, I need to do more for me, even for 20 minutes a day. Yeah, girl, she said all the stuff that I've been saying to you. Well, she didn't believe it until you heard it from the therapist. All right. Now that you heard it from me and you heard it from the therapist, can you go ahead and do it, please? Give yourself 20 minutes of self-care every day. You know what I'm saying? Like twice a week now, I'm doing my nails. Twice a week now, I am sitting down and caring for myself and getting my nails painted up because I don't bite my nails when I paint them. I would like to have some damn nails. I would like to not, have just nubs anymore. I want to have some nails. So like twice a week, I have committed to, I'm going to clear off my nail polish. I'm going to give myself a little manicure. I'm going to paint these up and make them pretty so that I like them. And then other half of the week, I'm going to have a different color and it motivates me. I want to do something nice for myself. All right. Let's see. How do I get out of the mindset of I'm afraid if I get into an argument with my husband that he opens the door for him, that opens the door for him to cheat again. Getting out of that mindset, the thing is, he could come up with any reason to cheat. That it could be anything. Your brain is like, oh, well, if you argue with him, then he'll have a reason to cheat. It could be anything. You don't have to argue with him. If he is of a mind to cheat, he will cheat. That is not about you. You don't control that. All right. You don't control whether he will cheat again. You control how you behave towards him now. That's all you control. You control telling him that you believe that he is going to be a good man. He is not going to do this to you again. He is not going to hurt you this way. You control working on your own emotions, working on your own insecurities, telling yourself, look, I have handled this. This has happened already. I have handled being cheated on. If it were to happen again, I could handle it again, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I am doing things a different way. I'm getting help. I'm getting therapy. I'm listening to Coach Dasha. I am not going to be in that same position again. That's not going to happen. You can keep telling yourself the opposite of the fearful thing. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, you tell yourself the opposite thing. Don't keep listening to the fear in your brain. That's that second step of the dreams formula, is that fear speech inside your head will keep telling you that, oh, you need to be afraid. You've got to tell your brain, fear is not helping this situation. Fear is making me do things that make me feel like I'm justified in doing them, but will make it more likely for us to end up with a cheating situation again, because I'm not being my best self. I am not living up to who I actually am. So you've got to let your brain know, I understand that you are a fearful brain, and I am so grateful to you for trying to protect me, but me being fearful all the time is not helping me. I need you to find better emotions. I need you to calm down. And we are going to get through this together, brain, but you cannot keep on trying to scare me to death for us to be able to get through this. He said, my therapist said I need to grieve the loss of my marriage in the past. She said it's okay to be sad, but I deserve to be happy with or without him. Yeah, you do. Absolutely. And you didn't lose your marriage. The marriage that you had in the past is still there. It is still the same exact marriage that you've always believed it was. It's just the fact that you found out he could do something you didn't know he could do. That's the only difference here. Your relationship didn't change. All the good, all the things about him that made you want to forgive him in the first place, those things are not over. You don't grieve those things. You celebrate those things. Okay? You focus on those things. You live in those things. You remind yourself of those things. Don't grieve and say, oh, that marriage is over now. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just because he did this stupid thing and cheated doesn't mean that your marriage, the good marriage that you had, is over. All right. This is a continuing story. You were at the beginning of the love story. Okay, now we're at the part where we're having conflict in the love story. That is not abnormal. That is not anything to grieve over. It is the fact that it is part of your life. You are going to have hard points in every marriage. All right. Like I said, there are different things, different stages that you go through together. You have your children together. You get the kids out of the house. You get to go through the empty nest thing together. You go through losing your parents together. You go through getting older together. There's a whole bunch of different things that happen in this relationship that are going to all be a part of your story. So don't go grieving the marriage. This is the marriage that you want, ain't it? If he wasn't the person that you wanted, you would not be doing this. You would not be trying to get through it. So this marriage is still your marriage. This is still your love story. It's just the fact that we're coming to the conflict in the story right now. And we just gotta get through the conflict. Make yourself the main character, get through the conflict. All right. Hey, TJ Sells Homes. Hi, glad you're here, girl. We are talking about getting past infidelity, getting to a better place with the person instead of leaving. I know that's a weird thing. I know lots and lots of people think that that is a strange thing, but it's funny how many, like I see when I'm on Instagram a little bit more and people see these videos and people see my reels, they're like, oh, hey, and they follow me. So you all are not the only ones, all right? You're not the only women out here who want to stay, who want to work it out. I wanted to be a place where that could be a safe thing to do. I know out in the world, out in the internet, they will tell you that you're just so stupid and you're a doormat and you're telling him how to treat you. I know that's what they say, but if you decide on love and compassion and forgiveness, what's wrong with that? Tell me. Let me know. Somebody let me know. What is wrong with you choosing to continue your relationship, to choose to forgive, to choose to be loving still, to choose to be understanding of the person that you want to claim to spend an entire life with? What is wrong with that? Why shouldn't you do that? Why does that make you weak? Everybody always says that that makes you so weak. I posit to you that trying to heal and to reconcile, you can heal all by yourself. You don't have to be with him, Joni, to be able to heal. All right. You don't have to be with him to be able to be happy. But if what you feel will bring you happiness is to reconcile with him, you've got to heal and combine that with reconciling. It is not just the healing. People will talk to you about the healing. A lot of these, podcasts and whatever, the groups will tell you things about your healing, but they will not talk to you about what you need to do to actually come back together again, to reconcile with this person, because some of the things that you're going to feel like you need to do for your healing are going to cause problems with the relationship too. So we've got to find the things that work towards us getting healed and the relationship getting healed. That is what I do. A lot of the time, people want me to do couples counseling. I don't really do couples counseling anymore. I usually only work with the women who have been betrayed, because that is where the healing is going to come from. It doesn't come from him. It does not come from him. He is not going to be the one to fix your heart. You're going to be the one to fix your heart. You're going to be the one to straighten that up and get and pick yourself up off the floor and dust yourself off and gather up all your marbles. It's going to be you. So me working with him and telling him what to do, that doesn't really even matter, okay? Because anything he does right now is going to suck for you. You're not going to believe in anything that he does. You're not going to trust anything that he does. It does not matter what he does right this second. You start working on the healing, get those emotions regulated, and then you can get to the place where you believe what he's doing is effective. You can't believe in that until you start to heal a little bit better. You just can't. It's not the path. It's not feasible that way. You have to get to the place where you're a little bit cleared out, you're a little bit more healed, you're a little bit more centered, and then you'll be able to accept the good things from him. All right? And like I said, I am not a big believer in starting off with full disclosure. I don't feel like that's a good idea for most people who have been hurt like this. I feel like it's a bad idea for you. Sitting there trying to absorb all of these painful details at the same time, your emotions are raging and they have not gotten themselves together. Honey, it's too much. It's too much for you. All right. It's too much information to process. It's too much to have to deal with. So you need to get to the place where you're healed up a little bit and your feelings and your emotions are a little bit more under control. And then we can find out a lot more of the information. Like I said, my husband will still come to me now. Like I said, he told me that like I found out that he has bipolar disorder. He has mania. Well, before, when he was manic, he would go play basketball. Not a problem. Not being all wild and rowdy and in the streets and doing things wrong, just going to play basketball. But he played really, really hard. Couple years after he met me, not even a couple whole years, I don't think. Might have been maybe about two. After he met me, he tore his rotator cuff. Something that he did every day, or almost every day, going to play basketball, was suddenly taken away from him. He shredded it. It was shredded, okay? They were like, if you raise your arm above your head again, you would probably tear it again. So he was not able to play basketball anymore. I did not realize that that caused so many problems for him because he didn't recognize it till it's 16 years later. He now recognizes, you know what? I had the torn rotator cuff, and when that happened, I wasn't able to play basketball every day anymore. And then that made me restless and made me think of other things to do with myself and my time that were less constructive than basketball. Had no idea. Never had made that connection in all of these years. I had not made that connection, and neither had he. Okay. It took 16 years. It took us traveling well down the healing path together for him to finally make that connection in his brain and say, I had suffered a loss. I had lost something that was a huge, major part of my life every single solitary day. And then I was trying to find something to fill up that space with. I He couldn't have told me that in the first few weeks. He couldn't have told me that a year into me trying to heal up. He couldn't have told me that the first 4 years when he was cheating. He couldn't have told me that. He didn't understand that at the time. I wouldn't have understood that at the time. I would not have accepted that at the time. Now I know that with his bipolar disorder, he has to have a routine. And that was part of his routine. Threw his routine off, totally messed him up. Totally messed him up. He was acting a complete fool because he had lost something that was so dear to him, and it made him lash out in ways that sucked for me. All right. So even now, even now, I am still fully understanding things that happened back then. So you can let go of that whole idea that you're just going to understand everything right now, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to heal. It is just not true. You are not in a place to be able to comprehend everything that has happened. All right. You're just not in that place. You need a little bit of distance. You need a little bit of perspective to get to a place where you can start to understand all of the pieces as they have been presented to you that will show you, like, oh, this is why he did this. This is what was happening, why this even happened to us. All right. So I want you to just understand that. I want you to be with me on that more than anything today. I want you to be really focused on the idea that you cannot know all of the information up front. It is not going to help you. It's not going to make you feel any better. It's not going to help you heal. It is just going to keep you stuck. All right. All right. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else that you want me to address? Something that I need to explain to you? All right. So, since we're coming to the end, I'm going to tell you one more thing that you can do to start to heal the trauma within. All right. I want you to start working on this, making this a thing. Do your affirmations. Sit down, look yourself in the eye, and say your affirmation like you mean it. Say it like it is the truth. Say it like you are trying to convince your best friend of this good thing about herself. I need you to do this because, again, we're changing the way our brains work after the trauma. If you look yourself in the eye and you tell yourself something positive about yourself with lots of enthusiasm, like you really, really believe it, then your brain has a recording of that. Your brain has a recording of you feeling wonderful about yourself. And we shouldn't feel bad about ourselves. We shouldn't tell ourselves mean things about ourselves anymore because, hey, the leader, the boss said that we're actually good. Things are good. We are good. We are kind. We are wonderful. We are nice. We are sweet. We shouldn't beat up on ourselves anymore. All right. Simple, right? So I got an affirmation for you today. I want you to repeat after me like you mean it. Okay. Today I am resourceful. Today I will turn anything into an opportunity. That is a great one for today because you got an opportunity today. You got an opportunity to work with me every day for a week for free for this trust issues challenge. All right. I need you to take this opportunity. I need you to see the opportunity in front of you and take it as it is coming because you need the help. All right. You need to get on the path to trusting. You need to start doing some of the things to let you know that it's not as scary as you think it is and start moving towards it. If you're going to have this relationship, if you're going to be together, you are going to need to start to trust again. Just is what it is. So today I am resourceful. Today I will turn anything into an opportunity. Turn this into an opportunity today. Come on and sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge. All right. All righty, y'all. I think that's about it for me today. I'm gonna have to I don't know. I'm gonna have to contact Facebook because this whole they messed it up. They made it so that in your group you can't stream, and unless it's just an event or you connect the event to the streaming software. I did all that. It still didn't connect. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody. I'm gonna have to sit down and talk to Facebook or talk to StreamYard and get them together so I can keep on going on Facebook. But in the meantime, sign up for the challenge. And then that next page after, sign up or click on the link and go to the challenge group. And make sure that you sign up for the challenge group because that's where we're having the challenge. All right. All righty, y'all. I think that's about it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I'm so glad that you got to join me today. Technical difficulties or not, I will be back again next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live again. In the meantime, I love you and I am so, so proud of you for wanting love, forgiveness, compassion, understanding. I think that you are a great person for wanting that, for choosing that for yourself. Don't ever think bad about yourself for loving who you love and wanting to forgive them, okay? We need more people like that in the world. All right, y'all. That's it. I will talk to you again next week, Thursday, for the Healing Hour Live. Until then, I'll see you later. And make sure you sign up for the Trust Issues Challenge. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on, I think, Facebook and YouTube. Oh.